sports analysis.
Entertainment reviews.
And everything in between. A little script talking about there.
There you go.
Yo, what's that word? 32 Minute Podcast, episode 77. Seemed like a big number. How y'all fellas doing tonight?
Good.
Doing good. Blessed. How about yourself?
Doing good. It's been a good day. I can't really complain, honestly. But as we start off every episode, we got the Reddit warm up. This is an interesting one for me personally. But the question is, people who don't smoke or do drugs or drink, etc., what is your unhealthy advice? And for those who might consume those types of things, just think of this question as you don't. So what is an unhealthy advice for you?
Working out. Working out can definitely be a healthy vice.
No, unhealthy vice.
An unhealthy vice.
Yeah.
But non-alcoholic or drug-related?
Yeah.
Eating. Unhealthy eating. Greasy foods, just snacking, unwarranted hunger eating. Just, some people just be like, oh, I want to eat. I'm going to eat. 10 minutes later, eat another whole, you know what I'm saying? But that can be an unhealthy vice for sure.
So give us an example of like unhealthy eating for you personally.
Personally, for me, candy is very an unhealthy. I will wake up early in the morning and eat a Snickers. Like I'm grown. Like I don't care. I love Snickers. I love chocolate. Like it definitely became a thing for me, and it shows because I got cavity, had to get that thing taken out, and that's definitely can be an unhealthy thing for you because these things is permanent. If they go out, it's time to get them dentures.
Yeah. Yeah. What about yourself, Khalil?
As far as unhealthy advice, I would say trying to stop cold turkey. Like just that very day, just stop doing what you're doing. Because I know that could probably lead to a lot of stress and a whole bunch of anger problems. I don't smoke, I don't drink, so
Me either.
I don't really
know.
I don't really know what that's like to, want or crave something like that. But I would say probably trying to stop like cold turkey and, not trying to ease your way out of it. Just try to sudden changes, bodies don't really react well with sudden changes, stuff like that.
I would say throughout my life, and I'll definitely piggyback off of Byron, like with the eating one, like things specifically, it's been really two things without my life. Like I shake it for a little bit, but I always go back. Like I grew up in a house store. Like our house was the hood house store. So that was like tater chips, like them bitches undefeated. like it's hard to shake them. It's hard to shake
$4.
Yeah, real talk.
For $4.
When you shake them, you feel like a noticeable difference. And the second was like ginger ale. I know a lot of people don't like it, but ginger ale to me, that shit is like, it's like alcohol. It's like beer. Like I ain't never had beer or alcohol, but I have to imagine ginger ale is what that like. Like I have a thing in my mind where I don't really consider it soda, but it really is basically a brother or a cousin. So yeah, those my two. And get in the comments, let us know y'all unhealthy vices.
I'll be fucking some ginger ale up.
Facts.
I got a 2 liter in the fridge right now.
That's what's in this cup. On
God. Bro. But, hold on, bro. Hold up.
Oh, we should be pulling out ginger ale? We flexing the ginger ale?
Oh man.
Nah, they already know.
Definitely. There you go.
That's Seagram.
Hitting.
Oh
Nothing
yeah.
but the heat.
That boy ain't never sick.
No cap.
But again, y'all let us know, about y'all viewpoints on it and y'all unhealthy vices. Get into the show a little bit. First topic. Let's go out of order of which we sent them. Do y'all believe NBA players are more healthier now or on some back in the day type of time? We done with the 90s, but like on some back in the day type of time.
Sheesh. You can go first if you.
It's kind of hard to tell. Just because back in the day, them motherfuckers was fighting, bro.
Yeah.
Like they was fighting. Back in the day, the game was a lot more physical, so there was bound to be more injuries, stuff like that, as opposed to now. But you got players nowadays that get hurt off the littlest stuff, like Anthony Davis, even LeBron.
Embiid.
Embiid. So thinking about it with today, if I was just comparing today's superstars to superstars back in the day, the league's probably healthier back then, at least as far as superstars being able to play more frequently and not needing to take back-to-backs off and stuff like that. That's just a little something for now.
Oh man. 2 words: load management. We're just gonna put that out there. Load management is some of the most terrible things that could have been ever created. Kawhi, I'm gonna hashtag to you to that. Um, Load management has been very terrible. I mean, imagine you saving up. I don't know how much money it takes or time for you to save up this money to go to this one game to see these superstars play, and they don't play because of load management. They're quote unquote hurt. We can't say their injuries aren't real, nor can we say that they are. But back in the day, these players would literally break lemon tooth to be on that fit court for any of these fans that are coming to watch them play and in battle for your job. This is what you do. You're supposed to play, not through all injuries, but through most of those injuries because they got a lot of the medication now they supposed to have compared to back then. But I would always see guys back then, wrapped up fingers, wrapped up hands, whatever, mask on their face, and they were out there on that court giving their all. um, yeah, they say if you're quote unquote hurt, don't be on the field, don't be on the court. We don't need that. But if you're not, hurt, what I'm saying, you can give 80%, 85%. They got that shot. Boom, you're at 90, 95%. Get out there on that court. Give us what you got. These fans deserve it. You make more money than teachers. You make more money than, the regular Joe that grinds real hard to go to your games to watch you play, and then you don't be like, come on, bro, I just paid for you, and you ain't even here. So I think back then, for sure, they were definitely a lot more tougher and a lot more, to grind it out for those reasons and for the league itself.
Yeah, definitely a lot more grit back then.
Facts.
I think we all agree on this one. I just think back in the day, it was more of a staple to play 82 games. And you gotta think about it.
Badge.
These dudes was drinking beers at halftime, smoking cigarettes. Some people smoking crack.
Yeah, all kind of
brawls and all, fighting in the locker room.
Yeah. And they going out there playing 82 games you gotta think you going out there playing 82 games knowing an injury that's like damn near minor today, like a torn ACL. Your career is over with back in the day, and you still like playing as hard as you can, trying to play as many games as you can. Think of a guy like John Stockton or AC Green, guys that played over in the thousands of games. Robert Parrish, the great Robert Parrish. So I think players back in the day, me personally, were generally tougher and also more healthier in the standpoint of like what they can withstand and what they was putting at risk, but still the amount of games that they were playing. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, shout out to the old players. Players today, they got a lot more advantages and stuff like that. And I salute the guys that try to play as many games as they can. Um, but I understand the guys who got serious injuries, but when you talk about guys that don't want to play back to backs and all that, I think it's a bad stain on the game. And honestly, I think that's why the viewership numbers has dropped in the NBA because I think people
Right.
are like they're not incentivized by the game. You don't know who's gonna be playing every day. But it is what it is though.
That should also lead to coaches getting fired too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got Nick Nurse, who we know is a great coach, and look at the 76ers because
Not
Joel
winning.
Embiid and Paul George ain't playing back to backs. Joel Embiid's probably hasn't played in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So
Yeah, he's barely played like 20% of like what they've played so far. Not
he's
even
already
that.
out of the MVP race. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Well,
insane.
speaking of the NBA, we'll stay right there to the NBA for the time being. How y'all feel about the NBA Cup race?
look, I know it's final now, the bracket and everything.
Yep, we got Milwaukee versus Orlando. This is the East bracket. Milwaukee, Orlando, 1-4. New York, uh, the Hawks. F. Trey Young. uh, I like Trey Young. I'm just saying, I'm saying New York. I like you, Trey Young.
The
Ice
man
Trey.
having a terrible season, I'll tell you that.
Hey,
Well,
Bears?
scoring wise, compared to what he does, everything else
he
about the same.
he's trying to get the team more involved, and they've been getting some dubs. They've been getting some
No,
dubs.
they between Jalen Johnson and Dyson Daniels, they legit.
Yeah, you got to sacrifice sometimes, man. And look at them. Look at that assist game. 20 and 26. Insane. Um,
Yeah, that's crazy.
we got Thunder, Maverick, and then we also got the Young Rockets versus the Warriors.
Man, Mavericks playing great without Luca. I
He
know he's
back.
been out for about a little week. They playing great without Luca. I think they won. I think they only lost one out of their last 7 games without Luca. So shout
Yeah,
out
no,
to Mavs with Kyrie and balling.
Kyrie
Luca's
for
been back
sure.
for like 2 games,
Two
something like that.
games. Yeah,
You said what?
yeah.
Luca's been back for like 2 games.
No, I'm
Yeah, he scored
saying,
like
Oh
30
yeah,
both
yeah, no,
games.
yeah, no.
yeah.
He because I know for sure. A big part of that is Spencer Dinwiddie. I don't like Spencer Dinwiddie, but that man hooping, bro. That
I
man
got
is
him on.
fresh.
I got that boy on 2K. Hey, Boy
Yeah, I feel you.
Spence. That boy
That man
Spence.
hooping, bro.
He a hooper.
How y'all feel about the rest of the bracket?
Oh,
Ooh.
sheesh.
It's a good bracket, man. I think we got some teams that are up and coming, which is like all the new coming guys. Like the Thunder, the Mavericks are definitely trying to be that established team. We trying to be the contenders all the time.
Yeah,
And then the Knicks, like the Knicks are really turning things around with Cat and really trying to push things to become a top team as well.
yeah.
I would say the most impressive team I was seeing so far is Milwaukee. Like they've been on an
Milwaukee,
amazing streak. Yeah, I think Giannis is playing like an MVP right now. Honestly, at
facts.
this, well, he probably be second to Jokic right now. Jokic is playing like Jokic, amazing, best player in the
Yeah.
league. But
Yes, sir.
Giannis
Facts.
is right there neck and neck with him, and I think they figured something out between him and Dame and the return of Chris Middleton being imminent if he hasn't returned already. I think he still got he just got the
It's
5-on-5, I
nah.
believe. So he should be returning soon, regardless if he hasn't already. But Milwaukee is playing great as we expected them when they got that duo together, and hopefully they gel even more in the second season with Doc as the head coach. They started off rough, and they back over 500 and they playing some of the best basketball in the NBA. And I would just say I got to catch more Thunder games. It's just some about them that's just like I don't watch them that much, to be
Yeah,
totally honest. But I
I
know
get it.
Shea is one of the best players in the league, so I gotta start getting them on the stream east.
But
Nah,
But
facts.
no, far as the East goes, all four of those teams are hot right now. What is it? You said the Bucks, Magic, Hawks, and the Knicks.
Mm.
If you look at all four of those teams over the last few games, all been hot. It looks like it's surprising with the Magic as well because they don't have their best player.
Yeah.
But France has stepped up and showed that he can be that number one superstar player on the team if he needs to, which I knew he had it in him, but he kind of never really had that chance until now. And then the Hawks, Jalen Johnson, honestly, to me, is emerging as that most important player on their team. He can do anything from pass the ball, grab rebounds, score. He's having, honestly, an all-star year, in my opinion. And then the Knicks look like they're finally starting to gel with the core that they established and brought together over the summer. So I'm excited for the Knicks as a Knicks fan. Warriors.
I love that highlight from Cat when him and Franz's older brother when he did the turnaround jumper on him. Yeah, I was like, okay, because Cat's always been my guy. I'm a Minnesota fan. I got like Cat jersey in the room and stuff like that, and I think he was obviously what they gave up for him. He was that piece that can like I said, I predicted the Knicks to win the championship when we did our predictions at the beginning of the year, and I thought they started off rough. I'm not sure Cat got if he did get any training camp, it wasn't much, and now they're getting a chance to gel and stuff like that. And I think Mitchell Robinson will be returning in the next 2 months if they don't make a move there or something like that. So the Knicks, I definitely think they finally finding that chemistry, like my boy was saying, they finding that chemistry. Even though Mikal Bridges, he still ain't found his footing. He gonna be, in my opinion, the final piece once Mitchell comes back, in order to like take them from being a hot team to being a consistent, dominant team like they were the second half of last season.
Sure. Warriors surprised me a lot too, I'm pretty sure they surprised a lot of people, especially with how they started the year. And it's not even just Steph Curry; it's accumulation of everybody. So Warriors are definitely another team to look out for. I
was
think
gonna say the Rockets because the Rockets with Fred VanVleet, you got Jalen Green playing out of his mind, and then obviously we got the clown of Dylan Brooks, his funny self, playing good defense or whatever. And Mendoku has really been coaching those guys. Yeah, baby Jokic. But Imendoku, I believe that's how you say his name. Yeah. He's been really coaching these young guys on how to like be professional basketball players. If you go look at their last year's season, a lot of those games that they were in, they were very close games towards the end. But when they're young in the league, which a lot of their team is, they don't know how to finish those games. And now I feel like this year they're learning how to finish those games and getting over those humps of being, all right, we ain't rookies no more. We like 3-4 year players now. Let's get over this hump and win.
I would say same thing happened over there in Charlotte with the Hornets and stuff. Hornets been winning games, but they be in every game, and LaMelo is balling out of his mind. But it was a crazy set I saw that LaMelo is taking the most field goals out of anybody since I think 2002, like per game.
Damn.
so I'm like, hey, that boy getting that bit up, ain't it? But
hey, it's his team.
Yeah,
Chino Hills, and it's his team. Yeah. Bro said all square button
for sure. But that was a team that I picked to be the surprise team. I believe was the Hornets. So shout out the Hornets. They've been balling, and they got a more mature coach over there. I knew like kind of what Byron was alluding to when you change the culture. That's how you raise a young team because they already got the talent. Like the Thunder. They didn't have a sorry culture. They had a young team. They got a more established culture, a veteran coach. Now they flourish. All the young teams is dominating the NBA right now.
Dominating.
The Magic. They got a veteran coach. They got the talent. If you have the talent, that's the thing about it. Like I had to figure this out myself. Like I thought about this today. If you have and this could take us into like another topic that we have written down, but like I thought about this today. Like says the NFL, NBA, you got a young talent, and then he's dominating the college ranks or the lower ranks. Then you move them to the professional ranks. Like how do they evaluate that those guys are going to become some of the best players in a professional level? Like how does that occur? And I thought about it. And I'm like, okay, they got the talent. You just kind of need to sharpen the edges around the sword of that talent. So I'll
Yeah.
ask y'all that, dudes that had more athletic talent than myself, like, how do y'all think as the levels rise and you had this talent that you could put them in this league with with seemingly more talent, but they still rise to the cream of the crop?
Honestly, coming from my perspective, if I was like a NBA team looking at a player, I'd look at the coaching that he was brung up with as far as high school, college, just, whenever he did interviews, how he carried himself, kind of watching his demeanors and little mannerisms on the court, whenever something's not going his way. Stuff like that.
Most definitely. Similar to what Khalil was saying, how his coaching as he was a younger player, as he was brought up through the levels, to see what kind of player he is. I would definitely get in that film, watch a lot of film of this player, see what kind of talent he brings to the next level. First, we got to see the fundamentals. Can you do the basics? Boom, you got all the basics checked. What separates you from your peers? Boom, you have this. This is your bag. I see your bag. Boom, okay. Can can you be coachable on this next level when you're not the star? All right, boom. You can do that. All right, cool. You got all at least the small requirements. Now once I get in and watch your film, if I see that you a dog, I think we were talking about this about players most recently be like if you ain't no dog, I don't want you on my team. I gotta see that. I gotta see that difference in you compared to just a regular player.
Yeah, I feel that. So, um, moving on to the next thing, we stayed on NBA quite a bit. Let's talk about a guy that can go in many different directions. How do y'all feel about Coach Prime potentially taking his talent somewhere else?
Oh man. Um, I think it would be a great thing for the NFL. PR wise, money wise, depending on which situation he lands in, it could be a great thing for him.
Yeah.
Um, Prime can lose nothing in going to the NFL at all. He can lose nothing going to the NFL because he put in the work in the NFL. One, Hall of Famer. Two, he's put in the work. Jackson State made them a better team. Every situation he's went to, he's left them better than they initially were.
Facts.
Yeah, no.
And not many
Go
coaches
ahead.
can say that.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say that, yeah.
But no, like Byron said, I don't think that Prime goes to the NFL and fails. I don't think dude's failed a day in his life. And that's just the type of person he is. You can never bring him down. You can never change him. Um, and he's also, somebody a coach or coming up into the league. I feel like if he was to go to a team, especially a team with like young, hungry players, I definitely feel like him and that team would definitely benefit. Kind of like the situation like we were talking about with Emi Udoka with the Rockets. Go to a team that kind of has the talent. And Giants, if you want to draft Shador, get rid of Dabble or Dable, hint, hint, wink, wink. I'd be all for it. It can't get any worse between Dabble and Shun. But I can definitely see him getting picked up by a young team. Kind of like, well, I don't think the Chargers are Chargers are in the middle with age. But kind of how Harbaugh came in and kind of established something with the Chargers, and Chargers are having a great season now.
Yeah. They went from 5 wins last year. They're at 8 already. Looking like a payoff team.
Yeah.
I definitely could see that.
Yeah, Harbaugh has proven even when before he's took a team to the Super Bowl, like
For sure.
Niners.
it was
Yeah.
some weird situation going on there with the lights going off and stuff. But I digress.
The blackout game.
But shout out Colin Kaepernick. Also, we said something before. Fuck Ime Udoka for what he did to the Queen.
Hey.
But again, I digress. Prime, Coach Prime. Honestly, I might disagree a little bit. I don't think he'll fail on the NFL level. I think he's in a perfect situation as a college coach. I think when it comes to the NFL, I think the coaches, you have to be an elite schemer on one side of the ball, whether that's offense or defense. You have to be elite on one of those sides of the ball. And it's also about relationships with players. I think Prime have good relationship with his player, maybe even great relationship with his players. He's been there. He's a Hall of Famer. Definitely, in my opinion, a top 5 NFL player of all time. But at the same time, I think just his personality is more conductive to like not super young men, ain't gonna sound crazy, but like young men that he has more of an influence over. Plus, I think he can use that to his advantage when he's recruiting players and stuff like that. For example, Nick Saban, he was great in college, LSU, Michigan State, all that stuff. Then he tried out for the Dolphins. He was the Dolphins head coach. It just didn't work out. I don't think his personality rubbed with the pros in the same way. His strengths, which is talent acquisition, couldn't be utilized to its fullest extent at Miami and in the NFL because we have general managers who usually have more power than the coaches. In college, the head coaches have the most power as far as their program. In the NFL, it's more so the ownership group, the GM, and then the coaches. Unless you're Bill Belichick, then you just do everything. But even they got Bill Belichick out of there. So when Nick Saban went back to college in Alabama, it accentuated his strengths, and he was able to become the greatest college coach of all time, bar none. And I think Prime is I won't say Colorado. We're talking about a step up in college. Like, say Nick Saban retired at the end of this season. I think that would have been an awesome landing spot for him going there with his sons going to college. But I also really like what he's doing at Colorado, picking up Julian Lewis, a couple other players, Carday Smith, left tackle there, Jordan Seaton last year, and killing the transfer portal. I like to see what Prime do now with the likely. I mean, at this point, and me personally, I think Ashton Genty should be the Heisman, but I think Travis Hunter is going to win the Heisman. So I want to see what Prime does without his son that he's developed to being potentially the first quarterback off the board in NFL draft and then the Heisman Trophy winner. And I think he's going to have success, and I think he's going to have continued success. Now, if Florida State have a bad season next year, I'm saying it now, I wouldn't mind seeing him there. You know, me and Deion Sanders grew up in the same hood. But
it ain't gonna happen, bro. They disrespected bro by not even calling, bro. They ain't give bro no look. They ain't even this man got his jersey retired in the Raptors. And you can't even give bro a call?
He got a call.
He ain't get no call.
He did get the call.
He ain't get no call.
He got the call. The coach he called. He asked Coach Bobby Bowden, who was still live at the time. God bless the dead Coach Bobby Bowden, one of the goats of college football. And he got him a call. He got a call, but Coach Prime didn't have his degree at the time, and he not an alumni of Florida State. He never graduated. He just went off to the pros and never graduated. So that
ain't got to speak on none of all that, though, man.
Nah,
great.
Now I'm gonna defend my
we
nose side.
Seminole.
I rock with Dion.
He ain't a no.
He ain't graduate from there. But
He ain't.
That man started
Ah.
DBU.
Yeah. He'll know. I'm just joking around.
So you ain't a Lightning?
What happened?
You ain't a Lightning?
Lehigh Lightning?
I'm a
Yeah.
Griffin.
I mean, technically, I'm a whatever city of palms, but yeah, I rock with the Lehigh Lightning
A
and the
palm
Gateway
tree.
Griffin.
Nah, you ain't graduated from that. That my G.
Hey, you're right. You're right. But Coach Prime, he definitely is a Seminole.
For real though.
Probably
For real though.
as far as players, he's probably the best player that's ever. Well, he is the best player that's ever played for Florida State. So
Yeah.
if we don't fire Coach Novell, which I'm totally not in favor for, I love Coach Novell, and we've had a great week as Florida State fans. I am not advocating for that, but if we go win 2 games next year, he's gonna be fired regardless of what I want or not next year. And I think Dion would be a great replacement as far as his recruiting ability. But moving on to our second to last subject, college football playoff released their rankings. These aren't the final rankings. We still have conference championship weekend coming up. We're going to talk about it a little bit.
So bad.
What happened?
This shit pissed me off so bad.
Well, we can start off there. How you feel about the rankings that dropped recently?
I'm not mad about them taking out Miami because they flopped against they flopped. They flopped. They on their own. If they would have beat Syracuse, then I would have had something to say about it. But they flopped. They were up 28, and that was on them. But to put Bama in,
yeah, that's wild.
To put Bama in is definitely something that's irking me. And SMU plays Clemson for the ACC title. Yeah. If Clemson wins and beats SMU, which has a better record than Bama, SMU probably won't even make the playoffs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be so. I will stop watching college football. I'll be so mad, bro, because that's not fair. It's not fair at all.
SMU's a tough ass team, bro.
A tough team, and they worked hard to grind to get where they at, bro. They're number 3 seed. The number 3 seed. If they lose, they still deserve a chance to be in the playoffs and have that Bama spot. Yeah. But no, due to strength of schedule and all, I don't give a damn, bro. You play who they put on the schedule, and you play who put in front of you. And SMU won more games and played better than Bama. Bama has been looking very ass. This has been one of the most terrible teams they've had in recent time. And if they make the playoffs, bro, I'm going to be so pissed off. This is for money grab, and that's all it's going to be for. And I'm going to be so pissed off.
Well, Bama and Georgia have both been looking bad. I ain't going to lie.
I respect Georgia to be in that bitch before Bama, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying, like, the SEC powerhouses that we're used to seeing, at least for this year time being, with Alabama and Georgia, it's really they're not as good as I expected them to be, per se.
And we just seen freaking Michigan smack the shit out of Ohio State, and they still the AC.
I think. Personally, I feel kind of numb to this because of what happened last year with Snub and Florida State. Like, that was the greatest travesty in college football history. Honestly, undefeated team not making it to the playoffs was insane. That will never happen again. And I think it's changed my relationship with the sport, to be like totally 100% honest. But we got screwed for Bama. Now Bama's screwing Miami over again. And I love that for Miami. Honestly, it's great. But it just being objective, like, Bama doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs. Besides, they lost 3 games this year. They lost to Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt.
They lost to Vanderbilt. Come on. I mean, Georgia hasn't been their dominant selves, but Bama beat Georgia this year. But Georgia hasn't been Georgia. They also lost to Tennessee. I believe they lost to Tennessee. That was their second loss. And then they had a horrible loss against an awful awful Oklahoma team who's been talking about potentially firing Brent Venables, and they had to hire a new OC this year. And I think they lost 5 or 6 games this year. An awful Oklahoma team. Bama just lost to them within the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they deserve to be in the playoffs. If they said Bama, then not who, because that's been the argument. I would
Yeah.
say Ole Miss. They also beat Georgia by more points in a more dominant fashion than Bama did. Ole Miss does have terrible losses on their resume in Kentucky and LSU. Common opponents there, but overall, I think Ole Miss, me personally, had more impressive showing this year than Bama, especially if you look at
Facts.
margin of victory in their games. Ole Miss was really smoking shit the whole year.
Yeah.
So, and I would argue South Carolina as well. Now we know
Yeah.
due
They're
to
I prefer them.
due to semantics, ESPN they're highly invested in the SEC more than any other country. So they're going to get at least 3 of their teams in. So regardless of this SEC championship game, we're going to see 3 or 4 SEC teams. Guaranteed is going to be Texas.
Yeah.
Georgia's
Oh
going to be
yeah.
there. Tennessee is idle, and I think they're at number 8 right now, so they're going to be in. And then
Yeah.
honestly, we're going to talk about the conference championship games real quick, but if Clemson wins, which honestly, if I'm just making my prediction a little early here,
I think they will.
I think Clemson's going to beat SMU.
I do
I
too.
think they're going to slide in, and then it's up for debate if Bama's going to be in there, but we'll have to see. But moving on to the conference championship games a little bit, the speed is to go through the process thoroughly. Y'all had a conference championship game pulled up.
Oh no.
Which one you? I got them all. I got it pulled up. Which one you want to know about?
That's we'll go by you.
AC. We got ACC,
Mhm.
Clemson versus SMU.
We'll go quick thoughts, rapid fire on that. I'll go first real quick. I think that's going to be one of the best games out of conference championship games. Right now, I already said my pick. I would have Clemson winning that game, though I think Clemson is going to run the ball. SMU is moving up to the big boy conferences, even though they've been successful. I mean, they're the number 1 seed for the ACC. I think this is a game that the experience of Coach Dabo. I was about to say something so derogatory, but Coach Dabo is going to come through in this conference title game to give Clemson that first round bye.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I definitely think this is going to be the first time that SMU faces a team that can be just as explosive and physical as them. I expect a good game, but I ultimately have Clemson pulling it out in a close one.
Hey, one name, Phil motherfucker. It's about to be very physical, like Khalil said, and that line of Clemson and having a wonderful quarterback in Klubnik, I believe that's how you say his name. He gonna throw the ball. He throw that pill with great precision. And like I said, Phil motherfucker, he runs the ball hard. He runs through you. He reminds me of a smaller what's bro's name back in the day?
Brandon Jacobs.
Leonard Fournette. No, I'm talking about for college
Oh
specifically.
yeah, for sure.
Like a Leonard Fournette, like running guys over, carrying them like little kids. Like he's going to the next level to the league. I don't know how great he gonna be, but this not where he gonna be at. He gonna be at the next level for sure. At least getting a shot. And I think Clemson definitely gonna win this game for sure. But SMU definitely deserves still to be in the playoffs.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. Facts.
2 game. Oh, this is gonna be a good one. We got Oregon and Penn State.
Nah.
Nah, you don't think that's gonna be a good one? Who you got?
I got Oregon.
Blowout?
I ain't got a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be to the point where it comes down to the final drive or nothing like that. Penn State, I think it's the same thing every year with Penn State. They haven't really proven anything to me this year still. Oregon is just a different breed, especially, like I said, they surprised me. First year in the Big 12 or Big 10. Big 10. And for them to go undefeated and most of their games come in convincing fashion, went down to the wire with a good Ohio State team, pulled it off against them. I honestly don't see this game really. This is like a stepping stone for them. This is going to be, first team come in to a new conference, win the conference championship. I got Oregon. I say touchdown to 10 points, somewhere in there.
I'll go real quick. I got Oregon in this one as well, but I think it's gonna be a little bit more of a fight than what this man saying. Penn State is a respectable team. They're very balanced this year compared to trying to be more dominant on the offensive end. The defense, you know what I'm saying, they have holes, but they play very hard. Those boys fly to the ball. And I mean, they got to the conference championship, so they ain't just, walk through and make a whole cakewalk all the way to there. So they got to have a little bit more respect in that. But obviously, Oregon is that powerhouse team that's been, blowing through a lot of these teams out here. Gabe is definitely that boy. He's viable for Heisman as well. Yeah, but I got Oregon in this for sure.
Let me be the contrarian, not just to be the contrarian, but I actually was thinking this the whole time. I'm gonna pick Penn State in an upset. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think this finally the year that Penn State is gonna pull it out, take that next step. I love Penn State, what they do on defense, Abdul Carter, a couple of other players, but also Nick Singleton on the offense. I think bringing in the Kansas offensive coordinator has elevated that team, and they won a tough game, including coming back and winning. Close your ears, Byron, against USC. But I think Penn State is they're going to shorten the game by running the ball, being physical, and I just have a feeling that they're going to pull out the upset in this game. But Oregon is heavily impressive. But just my gut is telling me Penn State is going to win this game. But like y'all said, awesome game. These is awesome games right here.
Yeah, for sure.
Most definitely. Moving on to the Sun Belt Championship, we got Marshall and Louisiana.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just go ahead and pick Marshall. I'm gonna go ahead and pick Marshall. I'll leave it for me.
You gonna pick the Raging Cajuns?
I'm gonna pick Marshall.
Oh man.
Yeah, Marshall. I don't even got no explanation, bro.
I'm gonna pick the upset. Raging Cajuns, bro. They run that ball.
They finna be raging all right when they lose.
Them boys run that ball, man. We finna see. It's gonna be a close game, and them boys Louisiana gonna pull it out.
Okay.
We're gonna go. We got Ohio versus Miami. Ohio, I believe. Yeah. Boom. In the MAC championship.
Give me Ohio in that game.
Yeah.
Give me Ohio.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll take Ohio as well. I watched Miami, Ohio needed to win to even get into this game. And yeah, Ohio.
Their schedule was ass, and I don't know how they made it. But they still wasn't dominant, bro. Their schedule was ass and shit, and they weren't dominant.
I don't lost some money betting on them. Sorry ass motherfuckers.
I literally went and looked at their schedule, and I'm like, damn, they really wasn't winning like that. But hey, better game here. We got the Big 12 and Iowa State and Arizona, Sun Devils. I got Iowa State. I got Iowa State in this one for sure. Them boys been the Cyclone. I mean Iowa, the not Cyclone, my fault. The Hawks. Them boys have definitely got that.
Yeah, they're Cyclones.
Is they the Cyclones? Oh yeah, that boy David has definitely got the a believer in the Cyclones for sure. They are a tough nosed team, to be honest. You wouldn't think they would be where they're at in this position, but with wonderful coaching and good talent, players will thrive, man. Those boys will run through a wall for that coach, and you can see what it's been doing for them. They're in the Big 12 championship, and you would think the Cyclones would be in the Big 12 championship, but them boys rocking.
I mean, I would say real quick, Matt Campbell is a great coach for Iowa State. He was considered heavily before we hired Mike Norvell, but he's also being considered heavily for the North Carolina head coaching job with them letting go of Mac Brown, the great Mac Brown. But me personally, I'm gonna go with Kenny Dillingham, former OC at Florida State, to pull off. I guess it would be upset at this point against
Yeah.
Iowa State. I think they played
Mm.
really well the past few weeks. They've been in some battles throughout the season. They earned their way here, and I think they have one of the best running backs in the nation. And I gotta point it out, that boy is white, like Peyton Hillis. He running that rock. So shout out
Scobo
to
or
him.
some shit like that. Skibo,
What happened?
Scobo. What's it? Scobo, Skibo, something like that?
Yeah. So I think they're going to be physical. I think they're going to match the physicality of Iowa State, and I think they're going to pull out the dub. I'm an upset kind of guy, man, but I
This
think
is good football,
Arizona
man.
State will pull out the dub
Hey, them upsets
No,
be good football games, though.
for sure.
definitely. I expect a tough, hard nosed game. Both schools love to run the ball.
Hmm.
Um, I just feel like from the games I've watched and seen, or I've bet on, so I was forced to watch. Arizona State seems more battle tested. And I feel like they're more ready for the physicality and for that championship atmosphere. You know, beating BYU. BYU is no joke. They were ranked top 10, top 15 for a good part of the year. And what is it? They beat BYU. They've had some close games with some really good teams, and they still prevailed. I'm taking Arizona State with the upset as well.
Yeah, they beat Oklahoma. They blew out Arizona. Like they blew
Yeah,
some. They had some good teams. They had some
And they
good
were
teams
sorry
they played
last year.
against.
They were sorry as hell.
As
yeah,
fuck. As fuck. Moving on to the big one. You know what I'm saying? The SEC championship. We got them Longhorns versus the Bulldogs in Georgia. Who y'all got? Who you
Oh,
got, Khalil?
Um, I think when Texas and Georgia first played, I think Quinn Ewers was just coming back from injury, like a week or two, something like that. I'm taking Texas here to get their revenge. It seems like everything's pointing in the right direction for them. Um, Georgia State, I mean Georgia, not Georgia State, still doesn't have me quite convinced that they're ready for the championship type level competition because there's regular season and then there's championships, playoffs, all that type of stuff. Everything goes up a notch in the championship playoffs. Um, and I think Texas is finally, Quinn Ewers is finally getting back to everything. And now, even if Quinn Ewers struggles, they can put their faith in Arch Manning. He's proven himself in the little bit of playing
Facts.
time that he has gotten. So
Just about to
I
say
like
that.
Texas to go ahead and get their revenge and capture the SEC title.
How about you,
um,
B?
I'm gonna go with Georgia. I'm not gonna bet against Kirby Smart. I think if I had to pick today, my favorite to win the title would be Georgia. I think in these games, attrition is gonna be the biggest thing. It's been a long season, but I think Georgia has the best depth as well as the best star power in the entire country. They recruit, they draft. It's more so, hey, we want you. All right, we can't take you. It's more like an NFL draft to
Yeah.
them. I just think Georgia is talent wise the best team in the nation. I think Kirby is a proven defensive coordinator. They already got a win over Texas at Texas, which is arguably the best win on anybody's resume this year in college football. These players, they're constantly in the playoffs in the national championship type settings for Georgia. I don't think Quinn, I think he's had a good season. And again, I would probably still take him as the first quarterback off the board in the draft, but I
Mm.
still think he's having some lingering effects from his injuries. And I think this is the wrong defense to try to get right against. So me personally, I'm gonna go with the Bulldogs in this game.
And even with I wouldn't say it's dislike or it's just unwavering faith so far in Ewers. I'm not a fan just yet, even though he might possibly end up on my team as the Jets, if anything. So I'm trying to find some love for him if he happens to. But I'm a big believer in Texas. I love Texas. I play with them all the time on NCAA. Y'all still trying to hop in the day, you know what I'm saying? Get with us for the Discord. We got the dynasty going. But Texas for sure. I always put Arch in. I'm a Manning guy. I throw that boy in. Got Isaiah Bond. Got Wingo. Wonderful defense on the other side. Number 8, Moore. I'm sorry.
Oh, Trey Moore. Trey Moore.
Moore.
Yeah.
Fucking dog. Like that boy is a dog, and he gets after the quarterback. He can get in. He can play. He just has that versatility that's wonderful for the team that he plays for. And then if the Texas can get those boys in long range, this down in distances, it gives them opportunity to send those boys, and he gets after the quarterback like no other in the college game. He's a
Yeah.
beast. I just think they're gonna show that talent difference and show the gaps that Georgia has had this year in their mishaps of you can have all the great coaching and still once that talent gets on that field, show a difference. And I think Texas is gonna definitely show that difference.
I also don't believe in Carson Beck.
You don't believe
Nah.
in Carson Beck?
Nah,
Oh
that man.
nah.
He.
Nah.
I mean, any top team that they played this year. I mean, look at his stats. Dude, an interception throwing machine.
Bro,
You
literally
can,
as soon as after last year ended, everybody was like, Carson Beck, #1 pick, about to come into the draft. Watch out for him.
Yeah.
I ain't hear not one lick of Carson Beck
Trash.
talk. Not one lick of Carson Beck talk this year at all.
yeah. I would say they just had a close game. I think they beat Tennessee. I'm not sure which way that game went. Was it Tennessee winning or? No, I think Georgia won that game.
Yeah, no, I think
they won,
or
but
Georgia
yeah.
won. I think Georgia won.
Yeah, so I think Georgia has been extremely battle tested this last half of the season. But either one of them teams could win that game. As far as talent wise, that's definitely the most talented game on the docket for sure. And it brings up an interesting conversation because you got certain teams sitting idle that's going to make the playoffs regardless. And that's Tennessee and Ohio State. Ohio State just suffered a terrible loss against Michigan.
Terrible Michigan team.
A terrible Michigan team.
Coach about to get fired, losing to Michigan 2 years in a row. Come on, bro.
Or
4 years in a row.
Bro,
literally the only reason you get paid at Ohio State is to simply not lose to Michigan. And you got one fucking job, and you can't do that. You about to give me my money back.
Yeah, if he doesn't win a natty, I think they might
you out.
Make a change out of there. But I'm not.
I don't think they're a team.
But I'm not doubting their availability to win a natty either. What I was gonna say is it makes me question the team that these teams are playing in the conference championship. Ohio State, they making it regardless. Tennessee, they're making it regardless. It almost incentivizes you to be a high seed but not make the conference championships because you're sitting idle. You're gonna make it regardless. I guess the only incentive is, which is a big incentive, you get that first round bye if you win your conference championship. So it's a conversation to be had, but yeah, I think there was one game that we missed, and that was the AAC. But I know UNLV is in there.
AAC, and then we got Tulsa Army in the AAC, and then we got UNLV and Boise State with Heisman candidate running back in the Mountain West. Yeah, Ashton Jeanty in the Mountain West Conference Championship. I got Boise, and then I got Tulane.
Yeah, give me Ashton Jeanty. And he ain't gonna say Boise.
For real.
Give me Ashton Jeanty.
I'll take
they're just gonna hand it off.
Boise State, but UNLV is not a pushover team.
They not.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely. I expect a good game. So, but I'm taking Boise State. I do want to see them in the college football playoffs. So,
I just don't think their trenches can hold up with Boise State trenches, and that's what's going to be the difference. Because when they run, they're going to be running that ball, and them boys are going to be tired all game.
I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think UNLV is a good team. I just think Boise State, they only lost to Oregon by 3 points. Like, I think that that was the only game they lost. That was the only game they lost, and they only lost by 3 points. So
Oregon was still trying to figure that shit out, though.
Yeah.
When they playing Boise State. You know what I'm
Yeah, there's
saying?
fights.
Like,
There's
Boy,
fights, and
yeah.
then there's matchups, and this is just a bad matchup for UNLV. Like if they had a different team, maybe, but
I
this
don't
is
know what the line is in that game, but honestly, I would probably put it at +10 or plus or minus 10.
I'm
Like,
crying.
just me
minus
personally.
10. Yeah,
But in
shit.
Tulane was that other game. I think Tulane has been
Tulane
playing
Army.
awesome this year. Tulane
Yeah,
versus
they about to
Army.
blow the shit out of Army. Yeah, they about to blow the shit out of Army.
Hey man, Army been playing kind of good
They've
this
been
year.
playing good, but
Well, Army got one loss then.
like you said, when them dogs step on the field with the mother dogs,
Hey, bro, the
it's a
Army got
difference
some
between
dog,
a
bro.
Chihuahua and a pit bull.
That wishbone formation, bro. Not many teams have been able to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Hey, hey,
Quarterback got
I don't
like
know.
1,300
Give me
yards.
Tulane. Give me Tulane.
Give me
With
Tulane,
all that
man.
being said, give me
Yeah,
Tulane.
give me Tulane, man.
And
I
shit.
don't know. I feel like me personally, I see it. I still see it as a high school offense.
For money purposes, give me Army.
That wishbone offense is a high school
Army
offense.
going
That
on my
shit can be
parlay.
stopped. It
Army
can be
going on my
stopped for
parlay.
sure.
Or is there a number that Army wouldn't go on your parlay? You know what I mean by that?
Hmm.
Like, where would that number have to sit for you not to put them on your parlay? Are you just going for the straight win,
Yeah.
or like say it
Yeah.
was ±3? Would you still go Army if the Army was the favorite ±3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
that's tough.
Bro, I've watched Army, bro. I'm going Army, bro.
I respect it.
I'm going
Hey,
Army, bro.
Yeah, I respect it. But y'all
hey,
get in with our conference championship picks and get throwing
facts.
y'all own discussion. I'm sure there's gonna be some angry fan bases in here. But
Fuck
um,
Georgia.
yeah, it's been this been a great podcast, man. I appreciate
Bama
your
better
time.
not make it.
Yeah, fuck Bama too.
For
Hey,
real, I'm
what
tired.
what Drewski? Not the time.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
I only say, fuck the Gators and Canes, but definitely fuck Alabama too if they get in, because that'd be 2 years of shiesty business, straight up
Shiesty.
business. Honestly, it's
That
it's,
yeah,
it's
bro. That
business.
shit. That's wild, bro. That's like
That's all it is.
it's a favoritism type of thing, bro. If Alabama gets in, it's a favoritism type of thing, bro.
And
Yeah.
honestly, I think they will, but it is what it
But
is.
I only
But
see
Gators,
really two teams that can win a fucking championship anyway, so
And who
it's
are
all
those two?
good.
I just want to know before we
Oregon
play
and
on.
Texas. All the other teams, I don't think mm, are capable. They don't have the facilities for that.
Do you think Boise could make it, at least make it? Because you say you think Boise could make it to the championship?
No,
Yeah,
no,
all
no.
right. I feel it.
They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight for sure, but I don't think. I don't think
they're gonna be able to
yeah.
tell people that they made it to the first round ever of a college football
Because
playoff.
because I don't think when they get into a situation of like one of these top ranked teams, it's not gonna be give it to Ashton Genty or run the ball
They
because
haven't proven they can throw the ball like that.
that's what I'm saying. They're gonna be playing from down. They gonna be playing from up. How normally they can just run the ball.
But
They're gonna have to put the
that's
ball in that quarterback's
that's gonna
hands.
be what it is. They're finally gonna be playing a team in the college football playoffs that can
Exactly.
score with them.
Yep.
That can
So
keep going back and forth with them.
and I don't think they're gonna win a shootout against a real like defense. Defense, you trying to like sling the ball across the field with a real defense like that when you're gonna have to put he's maybe throwing the ball maybe 20, 23 times, 20 to 25 times a game. He's gonna have to throw that thing at least 30, 35 times.
They
And
definitely gonna
that's
get
gonna
their ass
be
lose.
Yeah, they definitely gonna get put in some long down situations.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be bad for him, bro. It's gonna be bad for him for real. But
I
respect
mean,
to him because they fought hard.
yeah, I mean, Oregon, number one team, they only lost by two. That's all I'm saying. But
Hey, every
that'll be
dog got
something.
his
I think
day.
that's a good topic for another conversation when we talk about that could be another topic in another pod for who we think could be like an upset and go all the way, or potentially win the ship this year with the 12-team playoffs and stuff like that. But
bro, I love SMU, bro. Like they become one of my favorite teams to
They
watch.
better make the playoffs. They
They
better make
become
the
one of my
playoffs.
favorite teams to watch.
Because if they can do me this one favor, if they lose and they take that last spot and they play Notre Dame and they beat Notre Dame, they'll become one of my next favorite teams. I swear to God. Fuck
Notre
the
Dame has been
Irish.
playing really good too,
Fuck the
bro.
Irish. Fuck Irish. Fuck the
Notre
Irish.
Dame's not a team to sleep on either, bro.
That's a
Trojans all
guarantee.
day, baby.
That's a guarantee too. Up there with Tennessee and Ohio State, Notre
Yeah.
Dame. I
Yeah.
wonder if I got to look at the seed and if they're like a
Independent
home
league ass
game.
motherfuckers.
I think they'll be home probably because
Yeah,
of
it's
their
gonna be hard.
because of their schedule.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard playing in Notre Dame and South Bend. I ain't gonna.
Facts. Facts.
Hey, it's been a good one.
Rudy, man.